Guys, dreams might actually come true. I think this is not a drill. This could be a drill. This could be a hilarious drill. This might not be a drill. There's a new rumor that Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, specifically, and Emerald, might be coming to the Nintendo Switch as early as next month. That's kind of insane. The story that I saw first was from Dextero, and there's a guy associated to this. I'm going to read this. Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald could finally be making their way to modern Nintendo hardware with a new rumor claiming ports of all three games. All three games are currently planned for release as soon as September 2026. This is so crazy. I love this. This is surreal. Let's keep reading. The claim came from Gaming Insider Special Nick. Okay, it's just special. It's special spelled weird. I don't know who this person is. I've never heard of this person. He's a special individual who said the trio of classic Pokemon games are currently targeted at a late September or October release. Nick shared the claim on X after going back through old messages containing information he'd previously been told he could make public. And then the quote is, currently, the ports of Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire are planned for late September or October, he said. No further details were provided, including which platforms the ports are supposedly intended for or how they would be released. Assuming the rumor is accurate, however, it's likely they'd be ported to both the Switch and Switch 2 and made available digitally through the Nintendo eShop, similar to what we got with Fire Red and Leaf Green earlier this year. I literally don't know who this person is. Let's do a little bit of recon right now. Just a little bit of recon. Co-founder of Playday.one, the co-host of the Day One podcast. I guess I'll have to check this out. I've never heard of this person. Is he the one who is, I know there's like Switch 2 editions rolling out. Is this, I don't know. You guys all have to let me know if you've ever heard of this person. I am so excited. I think this is something that listen, I've been having a blast with Fire Red and Leaf Green. I think Leaf Green specifically has been a blast to play through. I stand by that these old games hold up. They are always good. They're literally always good. And they are also worth the $20. And if you don't think they're worth $20, you can emulate. I've been emulating these games. I've been playing off cart, the original carts that I bought 10, 20 years ago. It is what it is. But to me, these games are worth purchasing again and having on my Switch because I get to play these games in HD. I mean, these are like HD. These are HD ports. These games literally get, the resolution gets upscaled. The colors look different, and I get to play on my TV, which is an absolute blast. I have been feeling more and more because, when Fire Red and Leaf Green dropped on Pokemon Day, I think I've kind of, I've been kind of assuming that we're not going to get Ruby and Sapphire until Pokemon Day next year in 2027, which at this point is only 6 months away. That's not too far away, right? But that's a pretty good amount of time. And I assumed that Emerald would come out the following year or later next year. However, it does look, if this is true and these games come out, if Ruby and Sapphire drop in September and then maybe Emerald drops in October, in November, that's not that crazy. I think that actually makes a lot of sense because would they really want to release these games on Pokemon Day next year alongside probably the next, the first trailer or the second trailer after a year of waiting of Winds and Waves, right? Like, if they announce and they start their real rollout for Generation 10 and Winds and Waves on Pokemon Day next year, are they really going to want to showcase Ruby and Sapphire, like these 20-year-old games, and be like, oh, you can also go buy those? Yes, people will be hyped, but I think also the story gets kind of buried. And guess what? People have played Fire Red and Leaf Green. People have played Pokopia. People are playing the DLC for Pokopia now. People have played Champions. There's nothing else on the docket, on the horizon, except for Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I'm so hyped that this rumor is saying Emerald is also included in this. I've been seeing a lot of people say like, oh, well, why don't you just play Emerald? But like each of these stories are different, and there's a lot of Pokemon that you can't even get in Emerald that you can only get in Ruby and Sapphire. Or, you know, version exclusives to either Ruby or Sapphire. But I'm really excited for Emerald because one of the coolest things that I've been honestly jealous that I have not yet personally experienced is the idea that upon beating the Elite Four, we would get access to Faraway Island. We would get the old sea map dropped in our inventory, and we would be able to go talk to Mr. Bryony himself, the captain, and go to Faraway Island to capture the legendary Pokemon Mew on the 30th year anniversary. This is just too perfect. This would be a dream come true. I think Leaf Green, every single time you play through a Pokemon game, the adventure is going to be unique, obviously, because every single choice you make and the random encounters, the experience is always different, just in the game. But also, every time you play a Pokemon game, you are at a different point in your life. There are different factors, right? You're living in a different place. You're older every single time you play the game, right? You have new knowledge of new Pokemon games, right? Things that you didn't think about when you first played through that original Pokemon game that can change your perspective on the game, right? There's so many unaccounted for factors that change, you know, fundamentally every single playthrough of a Pokemon game. And what's beautiful about these ports that we've seen time and time again, we've seen this every single time we get a new Pokemon port, they unlock mystery gift events, and I'm having a blast in Leaf Green. I still have not been able to capture Ho-Oh and Lugia, but the fact that you can encounter Ho-Oh and Lugia in Leaf Green is insane. I've also gotten to the end of the game, captured a Deoxys, and Deoxys Deoxys is on my team. I've been leveling it up from level 30, and it's on my team, and it's powerful, and it's been so much fun to use in Leaf Green in a defense form, and now I am stoked. I am stoked to get these ports, these Hoenn ports, and capture Mew, and train Mew on my team. I am excited to, probably, honestly, capture another Lugia and Ho-Oh, to capture another Deoxys, which actually would be in its speed form, in Emerald specifically. You know, the Deoxys that I have in Leaf Green is a defense form, but this one would be different. And I'm also excited to, for the first time ever, go to, I'm pretty sure I would get the Eon ticket, and I would be able to go to Southern Island to get the other, to get the other Laddie dragon, right? You get one of them roaming, and you get the other one on Southern Island, and that's what I would be able to get. That's what all of us would be able to get. And never mind all of the other, you know, the legendary gauntlet, capturing all these other, the Reggies and these ancient beasts, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, like, so beautiful, right? So beautiful. And I wonder if they're even going to make Jirachi available. That would be kind of cool. I don't know how they would do that if it's just a giveaway, but that would be kind of cool if they made Jirachi available in these Hoenn games. I really feel like playing through this year during the 30th year anniversary, playing through Leaf Green and Pokopia, I have realized that both of these games, these Visions of Kanto, these Game Freak titles, both of them are canon, right? They're from Game Freak. These stories, are tied intangibly with the Hoenn games. And I think a lot of people forget this. I feel like I'm Hoenn's strongest soldier. These games, alongside Gold and Silver, right, in the Generation 2 games, have become my absolute favorites. And I replay these games all the time on cart. But there are still so many things, like I said, that fundamentally change every single time I play through these games. And the ability to capture these types of Pokemon, and to freely be able to trade with Fire Red and Leaf Green, right? Like, to be able to play through these games again would just mean so much to me. And I really think I also think it'd be good for the community, for people to actually appreciate Hoenn again. Playing through Pokopia, there's so many references. There's so many references to the Hoenn games, and let me stop there. It's not even the references. but it's literally like the plot, the entire purpose, the catalyst for the setting of Pokopia, I theorize, is a result of Team Magma, Team Aqua, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, maybe Deoxys, right? It's the events of the Hoenn region, and those evil teams basically destroying the Earth, causing, and I don't know. And then playing through Leaf Green in the Sevi Islands, again, there are like direct references to the Hoenn region, because obviously those are also Generation 3 games, but like, it just feels like these are companion pieces to the original Kanto games. I love it so much. These games are magnificent. That word was a little douchey. Maybe I shouldn't have said magnificent. Maybe you guys, did I just lose some viewers there? I love these games so much. I really am excited to play them again. I don't care if you can emulate them. I don't care if you can, whatever quip you want to say on social media, so be it. But I really think you're robbing yourself. Anyone who thinks, okay, I played this 20 years ago, it's no big deal. I think you're robbing yourself from, I don't know. I feel like you're like limiting your appreciation as a fan of this series. I think these games, all Pokemon games, get sweeter with age, especially these older games. And I think the experience that I've had playing these on my Switch 2, being able to play them on the big screen, being able to trade. I got Fire Red on my old Switch 1 OLED, and it's been nice to be able to trade to get trade evolutions. That's been so much fun, because I haven't been able, like, we all complain that trade evolutions are like a joke, right? And that they're so frustrating. We complain that trade evolutions are a joke, but like, I don't know. I had an extra $20 lying around that I probably would have, it would have cost me $40 to go to McDonald's or to go to to eat out a night. And so I budgeted accordingly and got I got Leaf Green and Fire Red, and it's been a joy to be able to play through Leaf Green with a weird hodgepodge anime team, a Poliwhirl, and an Onix, and then get to post game like Ash Ketchum, right? Like I became a champion. I go to the Sevi Islands, and now I've got Steelix, and now I've got Politoed, and then I captured a Deoxys. Like, think about what you could do in the Hoenn region. And I've been thinking this whole time, not this whole time, but I've been thinking for like 2 weeks since I kind of completed my adventure in Leaf Green. Damn, I wish I could continue this adventure. I've island hopped, and this is where it just spiritually feels like everything feels so perfect for Generation 10, but I island hopped to the Sevi Islands. I'm going to be battling the Elite Four, but what would be even sweeter, and this is how I'll end the video, what would be even sweeter is in October, if Emerald comes out, I can play through Emerald, right? And then trade my Leaf Green team over to Emerald version, battle and gain the ribbon of not just the Kanto League victors, right? I won't just become a champion of Kanto, but I'll get the ribbon indicating that I'm a champion of the Hoenn region as well. And then I can sail over to the battle, what is it called? The Battle Frontier. And I can start gaining ribbons or those medals. How fun would that be? The Battle Frontier would be a real location. So much fun. And then it kind of makes me think, no, that's too much copium. I was going to say, maybe Pokemon Coliseum, it could actually connect to these games, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think this rumor is legitimate? A new rumor has surfaced related, saying Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald might be coming to the Switch 2. What do you think? What do you think? Is this cope? Is this going to be real? In 10 days? No. In 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks. We might see Ruby and Sapphire on the eShop. Jeez Louise, man. I love these games so much. I finally know what it feels like to be an N64 nostalgic old man. That's me. I'm there. It's Game Boy era. I'm there. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are we playing ourselves? Would you buy these games? I've made other videos on this topic. I don't think this is the end. I think in a couple years we might start seeing DS ports. But anyways, what do I know? Thank you guys. Subscribe if you're new. Yeah, like I said, let me know what you think in the comments. Bye.